Willkommen zu ein mehr Episode of Zwei Ales und Hockey Tales mit Wally. Welcome to another episode of Two Ales and Hockey Tales with Wally. And today, heute, I'm so excited to have on a 27-year-old coming aus Rettenbach, Deutschland, a 27-year-old from Rettenbach, Germany. His hockey journey has taken him for sure to Germany, Canada, and he is currently in Davos, Switzerland, supporting our Moose and the Straubing Tigers at the Spengler Cup. And he doesn't just travel the world as a Tigers fan, he is also willing to muck it up at home as a match night volunteer, and Straubing is home to one of the most electric atmospheres in all of hockey. And rumor has it in my group chat, they just booked their ticket to the Held finale, the semifinals. Welcome on, Lukas Hollnberger.
Thanks for having me, Wally.
Hey, thanks for reaching out. Let me know you're in Davos. This is fun.
Yeah, yeah, it's great atmosphere, and as you said, we booked the ticket, and yeah, we're all hyped. The whole team's hyped, the fans hyped, and yeah,
So
let's
you
do
you
this.
guys just won. I didn't see it. I actually had to go into town to watch my under 15s play. A bunch of the kids I won all Ontario with play for the under 15 Kincardine Canucks now, so I went in to support them. And Jeepers, they just went to 3-0 too.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So you guys just won. You beat the Czech team, I guess.
We bet the Czech team, and as I'm aware, because the last minutes I went to the train because my hotel is not directly in Davos. I'm a bit outside, so I
Mm-hmm.
took the train and I listened to the TV commentator, narrator, and he said like they would be the leading team in the Czech league, I guess. So
Yeah,
that's quite impressive
that
because
is quite
Czech's a
impressive.
big hockey nation. So
Yeah, that'd
yeah,
be they'd be a good team.
yeah,
That
yeah.
Spengler Cup's a neat deal though. So how long are you there for? And so you're
Uh,
telling me you went all the way to the Spengler Cup and then you left the game early?
I left a bit early to make it on the pod.
You got it. Oh, well, there you go. If it's for me, then that's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
I was
But
gonna
but I
start
saw the
chirping you,
last
but now I
minutes.
won't.
Yeah, I know that's all right. Um, yeah. So I'm staying actually until to the final. I took it all the way. It's not cheap to be fair, but sometimes it takes the extra mile, and we're all fans, and for Straubing, really, it's a once in a lifetime experience. So yeah, we fans
You're right
took
though.
the way, and yeah,
It's amazing to see what the Straubing Tigers have become, and that they're playing in the Czech Champions League, then they're playing in the Spengler Cup. It's like when I first got to Germany, I got there because Bill True got his German passport and then went to the Straubing Tigers, and then they needed an import, and they had just got out of the second league, and I remember hearing about them winning the second league and how they all became legends for getting them up to the DL.
yeah,
But then
yeah,
they were a bottom tier DL team for like a decade, and now all of a sudden they're just running amok, aren't they?
yeah. And to be honest, the fans, I think just the fans deserve it now. They're supporting the team over years, being down there. I know Straubing never finished on the last place, but they always would be like 13th, 12th, not on 14th. But yeah, weren't easy years, as you said. But the fans, they stood behind their team, and I think now it's time to harvest that. And yeah, they deserve
I
it.
really I don't know. I don't Bietigheim was a different spot for me because we went from winning and supposedly supposed to be going up to the DL and then not doing it when we had earned that. And then because they have no money, we don't go up. Then they have no money to be good in the second league. And then we start losing. And then all of a sudden the fans treat you differently because you're losing. And I didn't appreciate it. I loved Bietigheim. I thought it was home when they would call me Mr. Brent Walton when I'd go out. We win the championship. I'm having the time of my life, and I think I'll play there forever. And then because they don't have money, then all of a sudden they're not even nice.
Yeah, yeah, that's very, very hard and bad, Straubing, I wouldn't say they're a low budget team compared to the top clubs, like Mannheim, Berlin,
Yes.
Munich, Red Bull. No question about that. But you see over the last years, you can earn money in Germany and you can earn money in Straubing, and you're seeing it. Musi's getting assistance now from a third equipment manager, so I think life's not that bad in Straubing.
I
They develop quite good, you know.
Well, and I also appreciate because in Germany, come November, there's a lot of coaches get fired. Like every national team break, there's like half the team get rid of their coaches if they haven't had a good start. And Straubing has been loyal to their coach, and it seems like he's built a great culture there.
And we had a difficult year. I don't know if you followed the start of the league this year. You know, it wasn't easy for Straubing, and there was a lot of criticizing on the coach, and you know, but management they never doubted it, so they never
That's
asked the
hockey.
question.
That's what
And
you need,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
You know, I love coaching, and maybe someday I'll have to scratch that itch when my kids are out of the house or something. But like, I would want to go to a team that I know the management would have your back if things did get tough, because there are way too many teams in Europe that will just gas a coach come November.
yes. And that's it. I think that's the Straubing thing. It's like a family. It's
Yeah,
not like you're now here and in 2 days by you're gone. It's not like that. It's a
it's the
family,
the
and
same with the Cardiff
it's
Devils where I
bondages
played.
there. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the culture you need to build when the fans and the team are in it together and the management has the coaches back and the coach has the players back. It is so much more easy to play hockey good.
Yeah, I believe so. So I played hockey myself a bit, but I was in Straubing's junior team, but not very successful to be to
Mm,
be fair.
yeah, some people are players and some people are fans, right?
Yeah, yeah, at least that. But I still have some skating. You know, we don't got a rink in our village where I live, but right in front of my door there's like a pond, so I could go skating there in the winter time.
Yeah,
It's great. Yep.
outdoor hockey is the best hockey. When
Oh
you
yeah,
just get friends out and play on a pond, that's hockey.
yeah. Good children time memory there. Yeah, yeah,
I
for sure.
I just drove home for Christmas and I was nearly there, and it's a Mennonite community with like horse and buggies outside of Elmira, Ontario, which all my friends growing up are Mennonite heritage. And man, it was Christmas Day around 4:30, and you saw every bar, the horse and buggies were hitting the highway, and everybody had their hockey sticks and skates packed, and the Mennonites were biking down the highway with their skates on their handlebars, and there was gonna be some real mucking it up, because I've
Oh yeah.
mucked it up with the Mennonites on ponds, and holy moly, you need shin pads playing with them.
Oh, I believe so. Wow.
But
Yeah.
that's how I grew up, and they are the honest, hardworking people. And it's weird for me where I live now to where I go home. They literally own all the land from there to there, and I don't know. There was a guy in the OHL got suspended 7 games for calling a guy a Mennonite, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's well, wouldn't you want to be honest and hardworking? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't
Totally
understand why
understand
you'd
you.
think you'd be making fun of them because they wake up
Yeah.
earlier than you and they try harder than you. But anywho,
Yeah.
I thought it was neat. That was just my own little
Yeah.
story. But you know what's
Oh,
weird?
nice one.
They speak German, right? And ich kann sprechen ein bisschen Deutsch.
Ja, dein Deutsch ist sehr gut.
Ich vergessen viel, aber ich verstanden
Yeah.
alles.
But how many
Nicht
years
alles.
were you? How many years were you in
Sechs
Germany
Jahre ich
actually?
spielen in
6 Jahre.
Deutschland. Ja,
Yeah.
4 Jahre
Yeah.
in Bietigheim, ein in
Yeah.
Landshut und the lastes Jahr in Hellbronn. And my son is born that year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but great experience. And there's a lot of guys going over, you know. I mean, you know, all what they tell you about the NHL, but if it's so hard to reach, let's be
Oh,
honest, yeah.
it
And
sure is.
I think at a certain age you should think what you want to do. And if you have a young family or want to have family, a lot of people are now thinking coming to Germany, coming to Europe in general, because it's good money here. You see something, you know, get
What the
get to come
experiences are
around.
what you really take away from it. It's like I didn't play in the
Yeah,
leagues where I was retiring after hockey. I had to get to work after hockey.
yeah,
But the experiences last a lifetime, and
yeah,
the people you meet, and then it does help you get into the real world when you've been able to adapt to a lot of different situations.
yeah. I can
And
only
playing for
imagine.
a
I
lot of
was,
different coaches too, because there were some
yeah.
crazy ones.
Oh, I can tell. I could tell you some from the league because I said I'm a volunteer at match night,
Yeah, what do you
and
do?
yeah, I'm in the steward security section. Let's call it like that. And
Do you ever have to
especially
get tough with some guys, throw them around?
not that much, but where I stand in front of the refs locker room. So
That could get heated.
that's a fun space because very close to that is the guest locker room in Straubing, and that's why they put us there. The league wants it like that. That only league officials would enter the locker room for the refs.
Yeah,
That's just their regulations, so they have us there. And to be fair, it's a good spot to watch the game.
yeah, makes
Almost as
sense.
good as Moose. Not that good, but
No,
almost as
he's
good.
got a good view of the game from the
He's
bench, eh?
got a first class view.
Yeah. So how did you find out about me talking?
Oh, I'm listening a lot to your podcast, especially because of the Manchester connection and
You have a
Moose, of course.
Manchester connection?
Yes, I have. I worked abroad. I did an internship for a company I still work here in Germany, German company. And I was 9 months in UK, and the local team there was the Manchester Storm. So
No way.
where you want to watch hockey, you know?
And you've seen all the fun I'm having in Manchester.
I I can tell you have the fun there. I understand it, and it's really a barn, you know. It's a barn there, and
It's
yeah, but
exactly the arena I played in Cardiff, the Big Blue Tent. It's the
yeah,
same thing, and
yeah.
they're just mucking it up there. But then when I had never played there, and I didn't know any of their guys until I had their coach and GM on, and then I have their captain on, and then this chocolate throwing fun starts, and then it just grows and grows. It's just the
I think that
coolest
was
thing ever.
after me. I think that was after me with the chocolate because I don't recall the chocolate only from your pod, so I think it was afterwards, kind of.
It just started when I had Captain
Yeah,
Critch on
yeah,
episode
yeah,
226. I
yeah,
remember when it happened.
yeah.
Because the next game there was like one or two chocolate bars, and they sent me the photo, and and then it hit Twitter, and somebody's like, "Why was there chocolate thrown on the ice?" And then Manchester tweeted like, tagged me and said like, maybe Wally could shed some light into it, and I thought this is the coolest thing ever. And now to
Yeah,
see them have volunteers going out on the ice to have to pick up all the chocolate after every win is
oh
so
yeah,
cool.
oh yeah. Can imagine. They're good guys there. As said, I still have some connections there. Greetings go out to all who know me from there. It's a great fan base as well. They're not the biggest fan base, but they're true hockey fans. I mean,
They're
we're all
passionate.
part of it, and yeah,
So you were there for 9 months doing an internship, and you got into the Storm,
yes,
eh?
yeah,
Hmm,
yep,
that's a weird world. So
yeah.
that's weird that you even found out about this. I thought you found out about it because of Moose.
No, I didn't found out because of Moose. No, I was there before I think before I even knew Moose. Yeah, yeah,
Hmm,
yeah.
weird.
Was
Okay.
before Moose was in Straubing.
So
Yeah.
you're from Bavaria, and fun fact is one of my kids and I's fun things we do is we go to an antique store where the guys are buddy, and we just take a look around at stuff. But
Yeah.
when
That's kind of a brewery sign, is it?
he gave me a Christmas present. Oh, there goes my Thor hammer that I used to beat up Dees with. um, he gave me this, a Hofbrau
Oh,
Bavaria
Hollnberger.
sign.
Yeah, nice one.
Yeah, that was a nice Christmas present.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's what we do for fun is we go to the antique store and I hang out with him and the kids look around and it's fun.
yeah, great. So
Yeah,
great. Yeah,
but I liked my sign. I liked
yeah.
Bavaria. I like the people there. They're very welcoming.
The Gemütlichkeit, you know, yeah,
Möglichkeit, ich nicht
Gemütlichkeit.
verstanden,
It's
Möglichkeit.
like the feeling there.
Yeah, the vibe.
You can't translate the word. It's Gemütlichkeit. It's if you go into your beer tent, have a beer, have something nice to eat, you are
It's
gemütlich, you know,
I
you're settled down, you're
it's the vibes. Yeah.
the vibes, yeah.
Being content.
Yeah.
I I
Gemütlichkeit, we call it.
understand. I never felt more like Wally than going into a beer tent in Bavaria.
You have to come to Goibot and Volksfest in Straubing. I think Moose might have told you.
I've heard of Volksfest in Straubing. Yeah, it sounds like Cody Lample and Moose are really doing it
Yeah, Cody.
right.
You know, Cody would drink one liter without putting it down. You know, he would just
Just chugger.
liter it down. Yeah, just
I
drink it
really
down.
used to let the Feder Market know in Bietigheim that I was there.
Yeah,
Well, if you're gonna play, you may as well let them know you're there, right?
Right? For sure.
I
Yeah.
think it's as hockey as it gets though when you play in Germany and all the beer tents are open there in the
Yeah.
fall or whatever it's called. And then like you get to be a team and go out and hit the
Yeah.
beer tents together and you
That's
become
team
like
building, right?
that's you become a family. You get to know each other, right? Get the music playing, stand on the tables, smash your pints together or your masts together, and then just have a time and sing with the music, right? Like Joanna Dugailysal, what a song.
Yeah. It's the start of the season for Straubing when there is the Volksfest because the
Makes sense.
Volksfest would be they would have their pre-season party there. The player introduction for the fans, one tent full of hockey fans,
Same
and
thing happened at the Feder Market in Bietigheim.
yeah,
I know exactly what you're
yeah,
saying.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's when season starts in Straubing. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes though that German beer, like, when you've been in Canada for the summer and the beer's like water,
Oh yeah.
and then you get to those and they fill up the mass really full and they're heavy and you got to drink them because they're too heavy. And then, well, things can get away
Yeah.
from guys, right?
Yeah. Yep. Understand you. Yeah.
Hmm.
Got to
Yeah.
be careful.
You do have to be careful, but
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I love German food and like I like cooking schnitzel and spätzle, and I did have a Cabina Fest with my under 13s who are about to play in the semifinals of Silver Stick tonight.
Okay.
But
Fingers crossed.
yeah, I think they're going to be ready to play. But
Okay.
anyways, I had a Cabina Fest and spätzle and schnitzel. What would be your favorite German meal?
Well, with Schnitzel, I think it's going the
It
right
doesn't have
way.
to be schnitzel. I want you to go wherever you want to go with this. I love
No,
schnitzel. It's a
but really,
versatile meat.
Schnitzel is very good. I like Schnitzel, but also the Schweinebraten, the pork.
Oh, talk
Thing.
dirty to me. We
Oh,
just met. Why are you talking dirty to me today? Oh God,
yeah,
yes, I know what you're
I
talking
don't have
about.
to tell you.
Yeah, that's pig belly, folks. And
Yep,
Hammer in Bietigheim, Dominic Hammer, my best German buddy, would every Jed Jeden Mittwoch, right? Is that right?
right.
Every
Every
most
Wednesday.
Wednesdays,
Yep.
he would invite over like the guys he was closest with on the team. There usually was about 10 of us, but he would make a Schweinebraten and everybody would bring a side or a dessert, and it was like everybody hung out for the night and just had fun, and it brought the team together. And he was one of the best teammates I ever played with because he just had a knack for bringing the team together, and it was over Schweinebraten.
Yeah, I said it's a classical dish in Bavaria, Schweinebraten.
Oh,
Nice beer to it. Yeah.
and the crispy skin on the outside, eh?
Yeah,
That really gets you.
they also have the Schweinshaxen, with the bone in it.
Mm.
The
I was never man enough to try that. I never felt tough enough to eat that.
yeah, but
Yeah.
that's quite crispy, yeah.
I
Yeah.
like the canoodles though. The ones not like the
Noodles, yeah.
kartoffel
The
ones, the
dumplings,
other ones.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. They're
With a
good.
Schweinebraten, you get
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
gravy over top of
Loved
that,
it.
you're living, eh?
Loved it. Loved it. My grandma, she could make
Ugh,
perfect.
I don't
Perfect.
understand. Like Germany always like gave me shit for being fat, and it's like, well, how am I supposed to behave and act when you guys are feeding me food like this, and I've never had it before? Like, how am I supposed to stay a professional athlete like with that
Yeah,
going
I
on, right?
understand. Beginning of the seasons you have your fitness, your tests.
I always did really well. Usually the goalie would be fatter than me on
Okay.
some teams, you know.
Had to block some shots. I'm sure of that.
I was trying not to in Germany. You might get hurt.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, like it's man. Anyways, poster pictures. So when I was talking to Moose, Robert Greeley came up, the YouTube sensation, and he's in Davos right now. And then one of your poster pics is you with him. What a weird world's going
Yeah.
on. Where did you
Yep.
meet him? In Davos?
Well, no.
In
The first time we met Robert, and you can look in his YouTube chronicles, like his videos. One of the first videos, and that was when he came in touch with Straubing, was when he was at Straubing. So he would visit his buddy Nick Mattinen, who then went from Straubing to the NHL. Well, had an NHL contract. I think he's with the Marlies
right.
currently right now. Um, but had a two-way contract signed after that and left us. And he covered the story about him in Straubing, and then yeah, he tours the world, and
Just like
I'm
when
a
he
guy.
covered the Manchester Storm in the chocolate throwing fun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. He
he
also
he
went.
likes the same teams as me.
Yeah, and me.
Yeah, what a world, eh?
Straubing at Manchester.
So you were
Yeah,
on that first video where it said something about $395. So what was
yeah.
$395
He
getting you?
he was at the I would say Montreal Forum. It's the of course it's the Bell Center. He was at the Bell Center this October. And a buddy and me, we once did this already, and we did it the second time. We did a tour through North America. You have to know, I lived 4 years in the US
Okay.
as a child because my
Where?
father went abroad for work.
Yeah. Where'd
So
you
you have
live?
the SUNY, Wisconsin,
Oh, Wisconsin.
Milwaukee. So I saw my first hockey game ever. I saw in Milwaukee
I was
as a kid.
driving to Milwaukee when I just, no, I wasn't. Where was I going? I think, yeah, I was going to no, I wasn't. My friend from childhood growing up came to visit me at Western Michigan on the way to Milwaukee for an AHL training camp, Rodney Bauman. I was going somewhere else, Rockford, I think, when I decided to turn around and go to Germany.
Milwaukee was one of the first stations in Moose's career.
Right. And my buddy from Dayton, Ohio, when we went to the finals, then became the captain of Milwaukee, then the assistant coach, and now has found his way to the Columbus Blue Jackets to be the assistant coach. Weird world.
Real roll, but nice way, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I said Nick's also a good example. You don't have to always be in North America to get NHL contracts or something like that. It's
Totally. I remember seeing the guys that would go to Europe when I was there, and some of them went back and had really good opportunities of making it.
yeah,
And
yeah,
like they'd go to the Swedish Elite League or wherever and run
yeah.
amok, and then all of a sudden they're wanted. And pretty neat, a guy from Straubing signing an NHL contract the next year.
It is. It was very special for us. It's always hard losing a very good player. We're still missing him. So Nick,
Right.
if you
But he
hear
can
this,
always come back, right? That's what I say about hockey is you can't always go up, but you can always go
yeah,
down.
yeah. I think you just should know where you come from, but where your roots are. But yeah, I totally the boys deserve it. When they get the opportunity, you gotta go there and
Well,
yeah,
and that's probably where well, I mean, you never want to second guess what you did, but when we were going to win the championship in beating Hyman, I knew that. And I was like right up for league leading scorer, and they loved me there. And I had opportunities to go places, and I chose not to stay loyal. And realistically, my centerman, big sexy Justin Kelly, did do that, and he went elsewhere. And then he could always come back. And it's like, I should have left when I knew they were going to lose and not be so loyal and go chase my dreams of making more money and playing in bigger leagues. And
yeah.
then I could have always gone back.
We got a player on our roster. He went to Sweden, Taylor Lear, number 7. He went to Linköping, I think, in Sweden. Just didn't work out. He came back this season,
Right.
so it's nice
Yeah.
to
And
have him
once
back.
they know you and they know what you're about, then they can always have you back
Yep,
because they know what they're
yep,
getting.
yep.
I find in Germany, when you'd be going there were so many teams that didn't know what they were getting. They didn't know what type of teammate or person they were. And there would be a lot of guys that only last a couple weeks.
Yeah, 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 for sure. Yeah,
So who's your favorite Straubing Tiger ever?
that's a very difficult one. For now, I at the moment I like Mike Connolly. I think Calvin Elfring would be
Oh,
my
yeah.
favorite because he really did the way, from low above. He was captain, he was a leader for our team. He's under the roof, he's a legend. Billy's a legend as well. I wouldn't rate them more or less, but if I would have to choose, maybe Calvin Elfring. Yeah.
Yeah, attaboy. Shed guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's awesome. And I think building a culture of a team takes having a guy like Helfen Elfring on your
Yeah.
team because he built a great culture in Straubing that
He
now you
started
guys
this process. He was one of the guys starting this process now.
right. And then you see where you guys are at now, and you'd have to be
Yeah.
thankful for what
Yeah,
he
we are
did, right?
for sure. For sure. We are
Um,
very
he,
thankful. Yeah.
he is He is a great guy and was a great hockey player. And I used to hate playing against him when he was in Belfast and I was in Cardiff and he was the left D man and I'm the right winger. He was all over the place and it just pissed me off because I just wanted to relax when I was playing D, you know?
Yeah. I was very young at the age when they played still second league, but what I won't forget is his goal from the red line. That's something you don't see that often.
What do you
And
do? Just shoot it from the red line into the net?
yeah, yeah, and it went in. Yeah,
Well, that's the goalie's fault. That's not him doing something good.
yeah, but it was quite a nice goal. It wasn't like, it was he,
Okay.
he did yeah, it
Either way,
was a
that's
weird
the
goal.
goalie's fault. It shouldn't
Yeah,
go in from
yeah,
center.
yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah.
um, you know what I haven't ate in a while? Vice first.
Weisburst.
Yeah. You like that stuff?
Yeah. The tradition in Bavaria, how you have to eat it and when you have to eat it.
When you gotta peel
Like,
the
yeah,
you
the
gotta peel
peeling
the
is the one thing,
you gotta peel the
but
condom off.
you're not allowed to eat a Weisswurst before 12 p.m. After 12 p.m., sorry.
You're not allowed to eat
It's
them after 12. You're only allowed to
after
cook them.
12, yep. Yep, that's a Bavarian tradition. So they
But
say
at the
like
Hofbrauhaus in Munich, I'm pretty sure they'll sell them after noon.
they'll sell them whole day, but it's just like
They're
a
breaking
codex.
tradition just for the
Yeah, like
tourists.
a tradition. So you would eat them like for breakfast actually with Brezen, with Weisswurst and the Weiss beer, of course. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Weiss beer, I wasn't allowed to drink in Germany. They wouldn't let
Oh,
me. They
oh,
said I would get too fat.
oh,
Yeah, Landsuit started that rule with me. They said no Weiss beer for you.
yeah,
I guess I didn't have
yeah.
the body type for Weiss or for Weiss beer and vice versa. I had to choose one. So, um, you know.
But you have Weisswurst over? You can
So
buy them?
there's a place here that sells vice versa, but there's no Zusensenf. There's no sweet mustard. So
Handelmeyer. Need the Handelmeyer from Regensburg, the original one.
well,
That's
that's what I need, but I don't have the Zempf here. I have no mustard.
I will send you over. You have to give me.
Hey,
I'll send you.
if you will send me that, then I will go get my vice versa and send you the photo of me running
You
amok.
have to. Yeah, I will.
That was in with Cabina Fest, when you have the locker room party and the player gets to choose what they bring in. I was either a half chicken guy or vice versa. And I remember when I did vice versa at Hellbrow, the coach never stopped chirping me because the fat guy brought the fat food.
Yeah, but
I
I like it too. Weisswurst, all right. Yep.
Yeah, well, it's a nice when you lived somewhere for like 6 years and
Yep.
then you come back to Canada and the food is you can't get it. And then I had to learn how to cook spätzle and schnitzel and do all the things. But then when you can go buy a vice versa, it's like I don't know how to cook that. I don't know how to make that. So it's nice that I can go find it. And then it can bring you back when you eat food from somewhere you lived, it can bring you back in time, can it?
Yep. Yep. Oh, true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is true. Okay. Anyways, more poster pics. You met Jeremy
Yeah. Back to
Roenick.
the pick with. Sorry. Yeah, it was at the Montreal Bell Center, and
There we go.
I yeah,
You're
and
back on
you know
track.
yeah. So I know Robert actually from the first time when he was in Straubing. I didn't know him personally, but I saw he covered our story and so on.
Right.
And so I followed him like on Instagram and yeah, I hit him up because he was posting, okay, I'm in Montreal tonight. And I said, okay, two guys from Straubing. And I know what Robert's relation to Straubing is. So I said, Robert, two guys from Straubing tonight. Because Buddy and I were doing this the second time we're touring around North America, some clubs. And not only NHL. So we would watch the OHL, junior leagues. That's what we like.
I have more
Especially
questions about
AHL,
that. I have more
ECHL.
questions about that. Yep. But keep going.
I keep going. And I said, Robert, hey, two fans from Straubing, and if he want to meet, and yeah, he invited us on a beer. It was very nice chatting to him there, and I think he was doing because of the that price. He was doing like I don't know a certain budget. He could
See what
take
he could,
for a
yeah, to
night
go
at
to
the
a
Bell Center.
Canadians
Yep,
game. Well,
yep.
it sure ain't cheap to go watch the Leafs play. That's for sure. Haven't been there in a couple years, you know?
We were there the first time. Yeah, it wasn't very cheap. We were kind of under the roof, but yeah, we
I
did it
the
once.
last game I paid for, I think it was $250 a ticket, and I never got a seat. I was above the last row of seats and had to
Oh,
stand with my son. But anywho, we knew some players, so we
yeah.
we still had fun.
Yeah.
So poster picks. You went to the Owen Sound Attack. So I'm just curious right now because I live very close to the Owen Sound Attack.
Right.
You were planning a trip to travel around and you decided to go to Owen Sound?
I have to tell you the trip because you will say I'm crazy or we are crazy. My buddy
Well,
Chris
if
as
you
well.
chose Owen Sound, I would agree with you. Sorry. We
Yeah,
go
not
there
only Owen
sometimes and
Sound.
it's
We
just not
started in
that beautiful.
Boston. We started in Boston, went to Springfield, just to name a few. Maybe I missed a few. Uh, New Jersey, Washington D.C., Erie Otters,
Hey, Stan
Michigan
Butler's the coach.
University, Michigan University,
Mm, I
Owen
hate
Sound,
that place.
Toronto, Toronto, Montreal, Quebec Junior Hockey League,
How long is this
Kitchener
trip?
Rangers. 20 days.
That's a lot of hockey and traveling
Yep.
around.
Yep.
What was
It
your
is.
favorite place?
I've been there twice now. At the first time, I gotta say Oshawa was pretty impressive for us. And now the second time, I guess Own Sound was very special because I got a small story on that one.
The Owen Sound one?
Yeah, yeah. I got a jersey. I even got it here. So we went to Own Sound for one reason. You may say we're crazy. Current player now for the Tigers, Josh Samansky. Um, he's a young kid, very talented, and he played OHL for Owen Sound.
Well, that makes sense. You're going to see a German play.
Yeah, yeah, and as I understand, he would like to have stayed longer, but then COVID came and he had to get back to Germany, kind of, and
Yeah, that
he
was
ended
all
up
weird.
with Straubing, which was quite well for us.
Samansky.
Yeah, he has a brother, Noah Samansky. I think he's in the CHL right now, in the WHL. Sorry,
I feel like there was a
somewhere.
Samansky on Munich when we beat them in the finals.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
don't.
he has a very, very famous father. That's right. His father was a hockey player, and his name is Samansky as well. Yeah, don't
Uh,
recall the first name, but yeah, yep.
Pretty curious if he was on the team in Munich when I became a Deutsche
He was.
Meister, and
He
then
was. I'm sure
boom.
because he was in Munich. I
See, that's
know.
a small world, ain't it?
Yep. 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 So yeah, that's funny. So back to the story in Owen Sound. So we went around there and yeah, it was pretty funny because we said, okay, we're here. Let's customize us like a Samansky jersey because that would be funny.
Yeah,
And we did that. And but the thing was, we met a fan there actually wearing a Samansky jersey. Didn't play there for like 3 seasons, but he still wears the jersey. So I said, okay, you got to explain Samansky. We're from Straubing, so that's how we came together. And in the end of the game, the guy was standing at the stairs where we sat and handed us over his jersey, and I got it here. And it
he did.
was
He just gave it to you,
he just gifted me with his jersey.
really?
Yeah, he just handed it over to me. And I looked on the inside, you can tell it's a game worn one actually. So
Right,
that
the
was,
fight strap.
yeah. So that was pretty special for us.
Well, right.
Very special
Whoever
to
that
us. He
guy
was
is
like,
from Owen Sound, he sounds like a nice guy.
yeah, he's a very nice guy. So shout out to Trent. He's a really, really nice guy who he gifted us with the jersey, and that's why I have a very nice fan story from Straubing, and yeah,
Yeah,
I will have
that's
a
really
small
neat.
surprise for him as well. I can't tell already on here, but yeah,
Oh,
I
well,
will I will yeah
I
make
understand.
that good to
So when
his
did this
side. So
happen?
yeah,
How long ago?
that was in October. Yeah.
So the Schmansky guy wasn't playing there anymore.
No, he wasn't playing there anymore, and he said it was more like coincidence that he had a Samansky jersey on because would have like 3 or 4 jerseys. I think he also sponsors the youth team there in Owen Sound. So yeah.
I find it very cool. Well, because everybody wants to wear the most recent jerseys. They want to wear the jerseys of the players that are playing now. And there's been a couple times where people have sent me photos or let me know they saw Walton 18 jerseys in the crowd. And I tell you, when you've been retired for like a decade, and you hear that someone's still wearing your jersey in the crowd, it can like melt your heart.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So that's cool that they were still wearing his
yeah.
jersey.
That's a nice story, and just shows how nice hockey fans can be, right? It's
Right.
just yeah,
I
that's quite
agree.
special for us.
So that Davos barn though, that I put that as one of your poster pics. The picture you sent me of the barn, that is quite the arena, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it is. They Moose said it. They call it the cathedral, you
Yeah.
know. And what is special, I was on the other side from the fan section yesterday, and it's also the acoustic in there, you know.
Yeah.
You can tell, you can
The
hear
sound is
from the
right.
other side the sound in there, goosebumps,
Mm.
goosebumps for sure.
I could imagine. Yeah, I couldn't imagine like, and then Moose sends me the video of him right at the locker room and then going out to that. And it's like, wow, that
Yeah,
is quite the arena to play
yeah,
hockey in.
yeah.
So they're playing Canada next day.
They did the first game already against Canada yesterday. Well, was a
I,
tough
I
one.
actually I actually watched the highlights there. So
You
I
did?
always I always tell my kids on my under 13 team, I'm like, the goals are around the net. You need to be around the net. You need to be
Yeah,
in front of the goalie. And when I watched the highlights of that game, the power plays looked really good for both teams. But
yeah,
every goal, there was a lot of traffic in front of the net.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. And what you can tell, Davos, they smashed us 5-5 nothing, and it was also the first two periods. It was like an even game, but then we just broke in there, kind of.
I heard you
And as
lost your
as
cool a
Moose
bit in the
said,
third.
it's the strength a bit maybe. It's also the high altitude here. You mustn't forget, we're on 1,500 meters here above sea
Oh,
level. So
I know what you mean. I had to go play
yep,
in Colorado College in university, and holy moly, I couldn't breathe those two games.
yep, yep.
Yeah, I was
So
lumbering around the ice.
yeah. So that's more impressive to see today. They were already playing back today. They're
And
turning the game in the
right.
last period today. I don't know where they take the strength for this, but they did it, and
So what was the final score today?
it was 4-2 for Straubing. Yep, in the end. So I think it
Uh
was an empty netter from Samansky in the end. Yep,
small world. But one of my former teammates is on your team on Straubing.
really.
One of my first German puppy, Stefan
Okay.
Dashner from we
Dashi.
Dashy was my teammate in Landshut when we went to the finals, and we were
Oh,
ein Tor away from becoming Deutsche Meisters. We lost in overtime to Castle in game
uh,
5 of a best of 5. It was heartbreaking shit.
believe so.
Still is.
Yeah,
Weird.
it
But
is. It is for sure.
what are you gonna do? But Dashy's a beauty, eh?
Yeah, Dashi's a good guy. He's a
He-
family
he-
guy. I think he's good for the young players because he's now one of the more experienced German players in that team, and
the
can
puppies
tell he
all
has
grow
only
up, don't they?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Now
played
he's
with him
he's
in
the guy.
2007, man.
Yeah,
He's still playing.
yeah, he's still playing. He's still
He
playing.
must take care of himself.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I,
Must not have hit the
I,
Feder market like I did.
I yeah. But he's playing and he's still on the ice. He's just throwing out that thing and yeah, he's really yeah, really on high level still for his age, so that's quite impressive, yeah.
So have you always been a Straubing Tigers fan since like childhood?
I have to be honest with you. When we moved back to Germany, that was in 2006, 7 around. Um, we went, I live exactly like in the middle of Straubing and Regensburg. Regensburg, they now play second league again. And at that time, that was also where they were at second league. And then years after, they went down to Oberliga.
Yeah. Didn't they
Um,
just win the second league the other year?
they won the second league, but they had the unfortunity that they couldn't go up because they didn't have the license. So
Right.
they wouldn't have how German hockey works. So you have to be like a financial stable club. So you have to have budget for first league. So you get the license,
They need to
and they
want to
didn't
go
have
up.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I played in Regensburg. I remember it was right near the start of my German career. They were still in the second league. They went bankrupt that year and
Yeah.
folded halfway through. But one of my first games in Germany, we got smashed there like 7-0 or 5-0, and all the
Yeah.
fans were going crazy about it. And they made us go out of the pro locker room, and we had to start changing in the Schule cabine in the
Yeah,
kids room.
Laufschule.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the kids went into our pro locker room, and they said we didn't deserve to change in our locker room because we didn't play good enough.
All right.
That was my
Yeah,
time in
crazy.
Regensburg.
Crazy story. So I watched like few games there, and well, I wouldn't say I was like a big fan, but I watched some games there. And then real fan, true fan in Straubing since 2012 because we had the half final in that year. But I already started being a fan during the regular season, so that would have been like December, January. Yep,
Do you know who Andy Canzanello is?
for sure. He
Oh
was on
man,
that team.
what a beauty he is.
Yeah, yeah. That team is just so legendary still today. So,
So he was on one of those guys that went to the semifinals
yeah.
with
So
Alfie.
with Elfie. So that was the now the second time because we made it to a half final last season. So that's as far as we got in DEL so far. So half final was always the end for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah. Elfie was on that team. Cansanol was on that team. Barry Brust was the goalie. You know, Barry, he liked to fight. I don't know if you've heard of him. He was like a
I have heard
fighting
of him
goalie.
because he was playing in Sheffield when I started
Yeah,
the
Sheffield.
podcast, and
Yeah,
me and David Sims tried to set up a goalie fight between him and Matt Carruth.
yeah.
And
Barry was
I was
crazy.
getting texts from the GM of Cardiff saying, dude, Mac thinks he's actually fighting at center ice at puck drop, and he's like, he's the best goalie in the league. I don't want my goalie fighting. I was like, dude, I was just talking.
Yeah, yeah,
I would have liked to see that fight though. Barry looked like a
yeah.
big
Me
boy.
too. Oh, Barry. Barry could fight. He would fight. You know,
So
I
can
think it
Mac.
wasn't.
Mac
Yeah.
was just tossing a guy around the other night and almost
Oh,
scored a goalie goal, and then got Twix thrown on the ice for him.
yeah. He got a high penalty from the league after that half final because in the last game in Straubing, so I think it was like best of seven series, and it was game five in Straubing. So we lost all games, and the one in Berlin. So we played Eisbären Berlin, and the one in Berlin we won it. So we brought the series back home once more.
Yeah.
And Barry at one goal, he would just go one goal scoring by Berlin, and he would just go up to that guy and punch him in the face, you know. And he directly had to go off, and I think he would have like next season 15 game suspension and high
So that's probably why he went to
money.
Sheffield.
Yeah. Well, I don't I think he went to KHL actually between that. I think he went
Oh.
like to Kunlun or I'm not sure where he went, but he was KHL in between somewhere, maybe as backup, but yeah.
So next question of guys you know for the small world. Do you know who Derek Hahn is?
I know he was in Ingolstadt. The name rings a bell. I didn't see him really play a lot, but
He
I know
definitely
him from
played
his
for
name.
Straubing too.
Straubing too, yeah, yeah. But that was before I really was like a diehard fan. But
Okay.
yeah, Derek Kahn was in Straubing. That's true. Yeah,
So
yep,
his nickname was Butchie back in Elmira, and he's from my
yep,
hometown. And I grew up watching him win the Sutherland Cup, which we ended up doing once I grew up. But then when I went to Germany, we had a night out together when he was playing for Frankfurt. So small world, but he was a
yeah.
Tiger. And then the other guy who looks like he's still doing well in his ripe old age is Travis Turnbull, who's with Dresden now in the second league.
Dresden
Eh?
now. I think he's the captain even from Dresden.
Yeah, he is. And
Yep,
for people that don't get that, imports being named captains of German teams is a big deal because a lot of times they want to have a German as the captain because then they can do all the interviews and all the stuff, right?
yep, yep.
Hmm.
Yeah, but Travis Turnbull, Snipesy as we called him, you know, that's his
Snipesy, that's a
nice
good
Snipesy,
nickname.
yeah. That's his nickname
Yeah.
actually, yeah.
Do you know what mine was in Germany?
No.
Kugelblitz.
Kugelblitz.
Yeah,
Yeah.
round lightning. Can you believe that shit? And then
That's
I hurt my knee, and then the blitz was gone, and I was only Kugel.
the cool. Yeah.
Apparently there was some fat soccer player that was fast that they called Kugelblitz, and when I went to Bietigheim, that was my nickname. Even the GM wrote it on my contract. He wrote
Oh
Kugelblitz
my.
on it.
The
You know,
Kugelblitz.
I was getting body shamed like almost every year of hockey. It hurt, you know?
Yeah.
I
Huh?
was trying
Yep.
my best. The food was too good.
Yeah. Yeah.
How are you
No,
supposed to control
sometimes
yourself in the Christmas markets, right? You would have just gone through that season, eh? Christmas markets are the best, aren't they?
they are. They are.
Can
Having
really
a
fatten up a hockey
bratwurst.
player.
Yeah. Yeah. Glühwein.
Glühwein, Halbmeter, vice versa, or versed.
Yeah. 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 The Mitterwurst. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can really get
Mm,
after it there. Yeah,
yeah.
especially when they make you work out all day and like practice. And then there's
Yeah.
like, oh, there's a Christmas market in town. Let's get all the boys together and drink Glühwein and eat a whole bunch of food.
Yeah.
That's what I used to
That's
do.
true. Yeah. Yeah.
So you know what else is a small world is another shed guy I just saw post. He's with Team Canada in the Spengler Cup. Is Hairsy, who had started his own podcast and then
Okay.
came on mine when he was starting his own, and then I went on his, and he is now working for Team Canada in the Spengler Cup, and he also works for Mannheim. Like
Oh,
he's like
really?
the I don't know what he does for them. He's like the hockey operations guy, maybe. But
Yeah.
now he's on Team Canada too, and he's there. Isn't that a small world? How many people
Yeah.
I
That's a
know in
small world.
Davos?
Yeah. We got two boys from the Mannheim team actually on the Tigers roster for the Spengler Cup. So
Didn't
they're kind of helping us out at the moment. I don't know, if they're extending their contracts in Straubing then or something like that. What management is doing
did
at
they
the
not
moment.
bring in a guy from Manchester? Or didn't somebody from the UK go to the Spengler Cup? I thought somebody from the UK league was there, but it brings back memories because when I played for the Cardiff Devils,
Okay.
and Blair Riley was on their team, and Team Canada brought him to the Spengler Cup, and he was playing for the Cardiff Devils, where the regular season is the big championship. And Cardiff said, if you have that opportunity, you go do that.
Yeah.
And he did miss some games, and I thought it was so cool that a team would have a guy's back and let him have that opportunity, even though it didn't help their team win their games.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you can go, go, and it's the same for the two players from Mannheim. I think one went back to Mannheim because they agreed on the contract that if they need the guys, they can have them back. So one is still with the team at the moment, but the other guy's in Mannheim at the moment. But yeah, it's a good opportunity for everybody who can go. I
Oh,
mean, what an honor.
what an experience.
Yeah,
One
yeah.
second, my daughter's calling me. Game back on. Sorry about that. Did you have any questions for me? Because I don't know what we were talking about before.
I don't know either. I just saw a clip from the post game speech of our coach after the win. Pretty emotional. So yeah, it's a big win for us tonight. So
It would have been. That's a huge Spengler
yeah,
Cup semifinals
yeah,
against Team Canada on TSN for the Straubing Tigers.
it's very big for us.
It's
For
huge. It's
playing Canada twice, that's big, and also getting the knowledge in Canada because we fans were joking, when we play Team Canada the first time, the Canadians, they would have to Google where Straubing is for the first time, and
I
yeah,
totally understand because when I was going to Landshut, Germany, I had no idea where I was going. And then when I went to Cardiff, Wales, no idea where that was. And then when I went to Denmark, I'm like, okay, where am I going now?
yeah. Champions League was the same, but I think now they know where Straubing is, and yeah,
Well, and then they do know where Straubing is because Straubing's running amok, and those players are getting a hell of an experience being in the Champions League and the Spengler Cup.
yep, for
Huh.
sure.
Memories for life, I guess. Hey, you never finished your answer about your favorite German meal. You said it was schnitzel, but how are you doing it? Because there's a lot of ways to schnitzel.
Yep. Oh, Schnitzel. Uh, I like the classic Wiener Schnitzel,
Yeah, you do.
but also the Naturschnitzel, nature schnitzel, just without the
No breading?
panade. Yeah, yeah. And with Spätzle sauce and with Spätzle.
Brown
Yeah,
sauce.
that's quite good. Yeah, the brown sauce.
Yes, I
Good one.
understand. I also like the schnitzels and spätzle. I also like Bavarian Kartoffelsalat, potato salad.
Yeah.
You guys have
Mm.
better potato salad than we have here. It's not even
Yeah.
close.
No, we do a lot of potato meals over here. Yeah, that's right.
Your Kartoffelsalat though is like it's more like oil based, where over here everybody's throwing mayonnaise in it, and it's like
Okay.
it's a different
Well,
thing. We don't have the
yeah,
good stuff here, but
yeah.
what are you
I
gonna
don't like
do, eh?
mayonnaise either.
Yeah, but schnitzels are fun. I
Yeah.
used to like going to the grocery store because when you'd leave and you'd got your groceries, they would have the schnitzel sandwich with the Zemph, the strong stuff, and then you just have a schnitzel sandwich on a nice bun, and that's living, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
why I wasn't in that good a shape in Germany. I still don't get it. It was food and beer and
Yeah.
uh
Yeah.
I was trying to be a
Mm.
hockey player. I thought I did all right, but my body screamed I was having too much fun.
Yeah. Yeah. But gotta enjoy yourselves a bit.
Don't you? Well, I don't know what else I have. I have a big game tonight. My Canucks are playing in the semifinals to make it to the finals would be tomorrow, and we are the host team. It's in our hometown, and I haven't won this tournament before. Last year we lost in a shootout, and it was heartbreaking. And I had to go in to do a post game talk with the kids, and everybody was bawling and everybody was heartbroken. And I really want it to go a different way this year, and I think I have all the right players and people to make that happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Losing the final is always tough, but I think it makes you stronger, in the end. Or
Well, it can
losing a
teach you things, right? Like we
yeah,
lost in
yeah,
a shootout in the semis last year, but then we
yeah.
did win all
That
Ontario and we beat everybody. So I guess we learned from it, but man, it was
yeah,
hard when it happened.
yeah, yeah. That was last year with our DL team with Straubing. We played Berlin again in the half final. Curiosity, 10 years before, 2012, we played them in a half final as well. But this time it was closer. And the thing was, the result in the end wasn't that close because I only think we also won one game, yeah. So you can't say that in the end, but we had like one of the longest overtimes in DL history in that series last year. So
How many
that was pretty
overtimes?
tough. I think three or four,
Oh
three.
man, I played in a couple of those games when I was in the
It was
East Coast semis. We played in
yeah,
Florida
okay.
against the Everblades, which is a beautiful spot, and it's no
Yeah,
wonder why they win a lot in the East Coast because it's where you'd want to play. But we played them from Dayton, Ohio in the semis, and one of our games went to the third or fourth overtime, and we scored on a power play right at the start of one of the periods. But I remember how like it was hot there too, and it was
yeah.
like we had guys that couldn't play because they were cramping too much and like they couldn't control it and they were so mad, but like they were cramping so much they literally couldn't skate anymore. It can you can really have to dig down deep in those long ones.
Yeah. Former Tiger won ECHL championship with the Everblades. Lefko Koper was on the team, and I think last year he retired, so he might have won one or two championships with the Everblades. Yeah.
Why would a German be playing in the East Coast? I've never understood that. You make more money in the DL, it's a better
No,
life.
no, he
Why?
wasn't German. He was a Canadian guy, so
Oh,
I
I
think he
gotcha.
was
He just played
Canadian.
for the Tigers.
Lefko Koper. Yeah, we got him under the season. I think, yeah, he was coming under the season and he played like half the season for Straubing. Yeah,
After playing in Europe, I had no interest in playing the AHL in the slightest. Playing in Europe is way more fun. You're more of a team. You sign your team for the year, and it's like when I grow up and the kids I'm raising around here, it's like you're a team. This is your team for the year, and we are doing this together from start to finish. And you go to North America, And it is so not that. There's people in and out the door. You have no idea who the lineup is and what your team looks like day to day. You can be roommates with a guy one day and then you're moving into another hotel room with a different guy because he went there and he went there. And it's like, this isn't a team. This isn't what I'm about, you know?
Yeah, yeah, understand it completely. You know, the system, if you always get up, get down,
It,
and
it,
also the fans, right? The fans.
well, and like just feeling comfortable and feeling like at home. And then you go to
Yep,
Germany and you're like, okay, I'm here for 8 months. This is my team. Let's do this thing, right?
yep, yep, yep.
Yeah.
That's totally true.
Are they still
Yeah.
making teams do the I don't know what it's called, like the worm, where everybody grabs the skates in front of them and
Sometimes they do it in Straubing. I didn't see it for like 2 or 3 years. I remember former player because our TV guys sometimes they would mic up the players during the game, and I remember I think it was Jeremy Williams on that team who was saying, "Why the hell do we have to do this?" And he was getting down and doing the worm. Yeah,
it's I felt like I was being bullied from the fans when I'd have to do that. I'm like, I don't want to do this at all. This seems stupid, you know?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But everybody has different hockey traditions, I guess, right?
yeah. It is, it is. But
When
in
we
the
won
end,
the
you know,
championship in Germany, they made us do that snake worm thing all over the ice and everybody was cheering like it was funny. And I'm like, well, I actually feel stupid doing that, you know?
I remember the pictures when Straubing won second league and went up to DL. I remember Billy, you know, he I think he didn't even have a shirt on or something on that day.
Right.
Only his medal, like, and he, you know, our rink, they would melt it down after the season. So the last game of the season was in Bremerhaven that year, and they would drive down, and the ice was already half melted, and he would just jump in that water
That makes
and
sense.
have
That sounds like hockey.
yeah
Yeah. And like he's a beauty.
yeah
I've
he
been with him at Oktoberfest. We've had fun.
yeah Billy Billy Billy's a
I
beauty
should
man.
chat with him. Any
He should, yeah.
well, when is the semifinal game against Canada?
It's tomorrow, so our time it's I think same time as today, 15:10 about,
I
so
really need to
15 p.m.
figure out a way to watch TSN now that I don't have cable, you know?
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
game I should see, but you know what? The Kincardine Canucks sure better be playing for a championship tomorrow, you know?
I understand you, bud.
Yeah, this is a serious
Yeah,
game tonight. I'm going to get all
yeah,
wound up here shortly. I might
yeah,
have a pregame nap and then get ready to rock like I'm a player again, but I actually don't have to sweat. I don't have to get cross-checked, slashed. I actually just talk to the kids and tell them what to do. And then I have to
yeah,
watch them go out and give her tits. And it's really
yep,
fun when you see a team come together and try harder than the other team. And that's what I'm hoping for today.
yep,
That my team
yeah,
cares more than the other team.
yeah, understand, yeah. That's what it's about. Yeah,
That's how you win.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's great.
It seems like the Straubing Tigers care more than a lot of teams and have the right culture and fan base and people are appreciating the players instead of saying mean things, right?
Yeah. And I can't tell that much about Manchester, but they also have like this family atmosphere kind of. You know,
Right.
there are clubs where you say, okay, they're more like not only
A
you have
team,
to,
it's a
yeah,
family.
yeah, a team also besides from the ice and not only on the ice.
And what's weird is when you win, everybody wins. Like not just the
Yeah,
team, every fan, every
yeah.
volunteer, which what you do, the coaches, the GMs, everybody wins and it lasts
Equipment
forever.
managers.
Right. The betrayers,
Yeah. Yeah. You know what they do, and it's always hard, you know, if there is so much work you don't see in the end, you know,
well, and it
and
takes
they do.
everybody to win. And it takes
Yeah,
the
yeah,
equipment guys, it takes
yeah,
the
yeah,
volunteers in the arena, and
yeah,
it takes
yeah.
building the right culture between everybody.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
That's it. That's
everybody's
the
got to
key.
be in it together or else it doesn't work and you don't win.
Absolutely. That's the
Mm.
key for it.
Well, are Canadians going to be confused when I say I'm cheering for Straubing? Do I care? I don't. You're right.
Yeah,
I want Moose to win. I know
yeah,
the Straubing
yes,
story. I know where it comes from. I know the
yeah.
roots. I've been there. I've hung out with the guys. I've mucked it up with some of the Tigers. And, having guys like Elfie and Kansi build a culture, and they are my type of people. And then you see what you guys are doing now, and you see how the coach is been there and, has made his mark. And I think it's really neat what the Straubing Tigers have become, but I also think it's really neat what the Cardiff Devils have become, where I played, and now they're in Champions Hockey League and they're beating everybody. And it's like, oh my God, I was I,
I
I
watched
I
it.
was
I
on that
watched.
team.
Yeah, I watched them win the championship. I was in Nottingham because they always had like the final four in Nottingham, or what's it
Yeah,
called?
the
I'm not sure.
playoff weekend.
Yeah, I was there. I had
Yeah,
tickets for there and I watched them. I watched Cardiff. I think Cardiff won, and there was even one Straubing player on that team, but I can't recall the name. Former Straubing player being
Cardiff.
on the even on Cardiff, or no, I think it was Cardiff team, yeah.
I
But I
remember
have
when
to Google
they,
that one.
this was a couple years after I was done.
Calvin was in Belfast, right?
Yeah, I played against him there. Yeah, he was a punk to play against. He was like not a defenseman. He was like a rover. He was everywhere. It pissed me off.
Yeah,
And he just
yeah.
do it all so smooth and like he wasn't even trying hard. I'm like, just stop it, okay? Because when I dump it into his corner and then he'd make me look stupid on the forecheck, I didn't like that. But what I was gonna say was I don't know. I forget. But when Cardiff won in Nottingham, there was a time, it was a couple years after I was done, and I thought it was really cool that the restaurant behind, they had all the Welsh fans, all the Devils fans, the team take a photo, and then the restaurant behind was called the Walton.
Walton, oh
Yeah.
my God.
And
How
I'm like, wow,
fitting.
that's neat.
Yeah, I
Uh,
love playing there. So
but it
you
was
won a championship in Nottingham there, or
I didn't when I played. We won the Challenge Cup in
oh, the
Sheffield,
Challenge Cup?
and
Yeah.
then the league is the big one. And both years I was there, we lost by 2 points. And then when I retired, my knee's done, and I'm back home. Then they just kept winning and winning, and it was all my guys, and it was fun to watch, but also tough to not be a part of.
Stand you. I just looked up the name. It was Mike Hedden.
Mike Hedden,
Mike
I've heard that
Hedden.
name.
He played for Straubing a few years, and he then went to Cardiff.
Right, I think he only was there about a year or so, right?
Yeah, 1 or 2 years. Yep.
That was one weird thing I had with my son the other day was he was like, he thought I'd played in Cardiff longer than I had. And he was like, why do you keep getting invited back to Cardiff? And like, why do they like you so much? He's like, how long did you play there? And I was like, well, I only played there 1 year and then I got hurt and then acted like a donkey. And he's like, well, it doesn't make any sense. I'm like, I agree with you. It doesn't make any sense that I keep getting invited back. But I'm going to go with it, you know?
Yeah, rather you go with it, right?
Yeah,
So
because
true.
some of the guys that I played with there were the best teammates I've ever had, and it was the best. It brought back my love of hockey playing in Cardiff when I didn't make as much money because I was doing the NBA, but it was fun. Hockey was fun again, and it can make you play so much better. And then I take that into my coaching now. It's like I don't want anybody upset. I don't want anybody not having fun playing hockey because you can't play as good. And it's difficult coaching because I have a couple of the best players in the league on my team. And it's like when games get close, I have to have those guys on the ice. But then I also know that means I'm not putting someone else on the ice. And it sucks for me because I want everybody to feel good. But it's like
Yeah.
we also want to win and be happy. And I have these guys and I have to put them on the ice, you know?
Yeah, so true, so true. It's also for the Spengler Cup now, every player deserves it on the team to be there and to play there.
And they've earned it. Straubing is getting invited to the Spengler Cup because they've earned that. And I always say in
Yeah,
hockey, it's about earning it.
yeah,
Nothing's given to you. You have to go out and
no,
get it. And the Straubing Tigers have done that.
yeah. It's been hard work over years now, but as said, the way is going up. For sure, you always have like a season maybe where you have an unfortunate season, maybe have a lot of injuries and so on. Can't tell about that, but
And you just deal with it and you
yeah.
play with who you got.
But as long, from fan perspective, as long as the player on the ice give out all their heart, give their 100%, they will be behind them, and
And
that's
that's
it
what you
in the end.
want. Yeah.
Yep.
And
You can lose games if you give 100% on the ice. Leave it there.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
You can lose games as long as you gave her tits.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So go Straubing Tigers against Canada tomorrow. Go Kincardine Canucks against whoever
Yes.
we're
Go
playing
Canucks.
later. And hopefully we're both playing a big game tomorrow, right?
We will for sure, Wally.
Because I got a big game tonight, folks. And this has been another episode of Two Ales and Hockey Tales, Mitt, Volley, and Bergie.